Bitcoin and Ethereum. What's its next move? Let's find out in the charts right here, shall we? Oh my goodness. Well, Bitcoin has pumped last night and then dumped, right? If we go down to the 4 hour, you can see that a little bit more clearer. And man, well, we're going to talk about that and more in today's episode. This is going to be a very important episode. So please watch it all the way to the end. I'm going to be doing a news rant. I haven't done one in a long while, so this is going to be cool. It's going to be fun. You know how I am when I do my news rants, right? It's lots of fun. I like making jokes at people and banks and everything else. So, but there is some critical news I want to share with you, and you must pay attention to this piece of news because, man, it's going to be another I told you so moment. I feel that might be coming based on this piece of news. All right, well, we're going to talk about how, well, I told you about last Friday that, I saw that, there was going to be a dump. There was only a little bit of a dump. And then we pumped again. And everything played out exactly as I predicted. And I'm going to show you how you should have traded it if you didn't already. And what you should do next if you haven't traded and you want to go on to trade it. And if you're interested in trading it, head over to bybit.davincij15.com and you can get a $4,000 bonus, right, for deposit bonus for opening up an account there. Okay, so let's get on to the trades, right? Because that's what you came here for. Oh boy. So let's go back in time a little bit. Back on Friday, right? We're looking to see that, hey, wait a second here. There's a lot of options that expire. Not a whole lot for half $1 billion. And look at it. Look what it did. And I told you, what did I say it would do? I said that most likely it will dump and then come back to where it actually left off. And what did it do? Boom, right back to where it left off. Oh my gosh. Yes. I mean, it's so obvious how the market plays out. It always plays out basically the same every single time. You just have to watch it long enough and you would see that the market will do exactly the same thing over and over again. Now, we're still in a bearish mode here for Bitcoin, even though it looked like it wanted to create a bullish mode. You can see that this is like another M, right? Lower highs, than not any higher highs, right? You can see this is high is not as high as this high, right? This high is higher than this high, and this high is higher than this high over here going forward. So we're getting lower highs, right? You can see that this is a trend line, and we can actually probably extend this out and do another trend line here, down here. Let's see here. We just get the wicks or something like that. That means we are in a clear a triangle pattern that's going to break out one way or the other. And you can see that also on the daily time frame that we are actually the Bollinger Bands are tightening as well. So we are getting ready for something big to happen here on Bitcoin. A big move in one direction or the other. So make sure you're prepared to trade that direction. You could either wait for confirmation, right, for the directional confirmation, or you could get ahead of that and get into a position of strength so you don't get wrecked, right? Position of strength, right, doesn't mean that you are going to be correct in that position, but you're not going to lose a whole lot of money. And that's the key to this game, is to always be able to continue to play the game tomorrow, even if the trade goes bad, and you can actually reverse the trade and come up with a different trade to make some money, right? That's what this is all about. All right, so let's take a look at the lower time frames. We got a big pump, right, on the lower time, on the 4 hour, right? And it was kind of scary. And I said, hey, that was a possibility here. Don't be shorting on this point of control, right? If we bring up the volume profile, this is the point of control, right around the 19 $170 area. So you do not make a trade there. I mean, you could, but what tends to happen is you get chopped around or you get chopped out. Maybe you take a long and it goes high, but you don't take profits, and then you just get chopped, right? You lost on the trade because it's coming back at you. Hopefully you had some trailing stop losses, and then you took some profits. Okay, zoom in. All right, and you can see that we broke out, and it looked like, oof, oh my goodness, which is wrong. We should go long. And I just added to the shorts here on this one because I knew that, hey, this is the most likely trade is to go short. It was not easy. Trust me, it's not easy. When it's not easy, you know this is the right trade. And so I did it. I conquered my fear and took the short. And look, I've added more to my shorts, and I'm happy about that. Am I going to be 100% right? Am I sure that this is going down? No. I know that this is the most likely scenario. All right. So with that said, let's go on to talk about first off, Financial Summit is coming up. All the boys are going to be there. Chris, Carl, right, and a few other cool people will also be there. So if you can attend, I suggest you do so because it's going to be awesome. Also, I'm going to be at the AIBC Summit there in Malta, so make sure you show up for that as well. Okay, Ethereum. Interesting enough, Ethereum has a little bit different pattern, and it looks like it wants to break out here. You can see that you could count this as a W here, as prices have created a W and broken out from its W mark, which would mean that it would take it all the way to the point where you have to reverse the trade if you're short on this, which is the $1,382 level. All right, well, yeah, this is going to be a hard short. Ethereum is usually a little difficult to short or long. It always plays with you. It always makes you think, oh, you're wrong, because it's a little bit. I feel it's a little bit more volatile than Bitcoin, and you can see that we do have a wick, kind of invalidating the W a little bit. This wick over here, right down here, and yes. But some people would say, well, I like to take the W's from the candle bodies. And, well, the candle body right here is kind of lower than the other one. It's like, it's almost even. So this is like a weak W. So keep in mind, right, the W action, right, works best when you're in the bullish trend. And we're not in a bullish trend right now. So that's the problem. And you can see that a breakout, right, could take us up to $1,400, $1,410 to be exact, and bring us to conclude that, hey, you know what, if that breaks there, this is this level here, if it breaks this level, which is just a little bit below the breakout, the target area for this W, that if you wanted to take, I would not take it, but if you wanted to take it, it's a $1,400 even, like $1,402, right? That would be the target, right? And you see it's reversed right now on the 4-hour, reversing, and is it going to stay above the $1,341? That's the question. If it can stay above that, it could probably break higher and break to the target. So, and when it breaks the target, that means it could turn the tide on the price action, and Ethereum could continue to rise. Now, does that mean that Bitcoin will rise? Because Bitcoin and Ethereum love to trade together. This is most likely the case. If that happens, then that means that Bitcoin could break higher with Ethereum, but it doesn't have to. Right? But we have to go with the most likely probability. And that is, if Ethereum breaks higher, Bitcoin will probably break higher as well. Alrighty, let's head over to the news, my news rant for the day. Man, government crackdowns are coming unless crypto starts self-policing. Alrighty, yeah, well, with self-regulation will be critical in governing the rapidly changing landscape of the cryptocurrency industry in order to preserve its autonomous, decentralized nature. Oh, so it can't be decentralized if, people, lose money or, things happen, bad actors come into the space. That is so false. That's so funny. Because the point of decentralization is to avoid regulation from government. So, for example, when you trade on a decentralized exchange, if your government says that you can't trade on all these other exchanges, you can trade only on regulated exchanges, well, guess what? You could trade on a decentralized exchange. How are they going to stop you? It's really that simple. Good luck with that. So they can't come up with the regulations that can prevent people from, building whatever they want to build and letting the market decide if it's good or not. Right? Yes, there's been lots of hacks, exploits, right? And, bad tokenomics, but this is where, as individuals, we have to figure that out and decide what's best to invest in and not have the government decide it for us. Because when they do that, what do you have? Okay, well, today, if you want to get into an early investment on any, project that is outside of crypto, you have to be a accredited investor in the United States. You have to make over, you have to have over $1 million or make over, I think it was like $250,000 a year or something like that. And yeah, it's ridiculous, right? So only rich people are allowed to get allowed to invest. Is that fair? No, that's not fair. So this is why you don't want government regulation coming in to the crypto space. And they can't. They really can't. So thank goodness for that. So they can try, but they're going to fail. All right. A crypto platform, Freeway, halts services citing unprecedented volatility. I have to think back to all the time that I've been in crypto. And in all the time that I've been in crypto, volatility was always unprecedented. So I'm sure they didn't bother doing any back testing of their product here. And I wouldn't, if you were in this product, right, I would suggest you run. Why is that? You never ever jump into a product that says, I'm going to give you 43% annual rewards guaranteed, or maybe that's what it is, right? You stay away from that, honestly, right? You don't want to put your money into a company that's trying to make you money based on high yields, right? Especially since you probably don't even know what they're doing to trade to make you those high yields. And if that's the case, you shouldn't be interested in doing that at all, because those high yields generally are a Ponzi scam. And this may not be a Ponzi scam. This may be a general trading feature that they have, a trading bot that they have, but it's just not going to work in this particular environment for whatever reason. And they didn't backtest it to see that, well, wait a second. If Bitcoin goes sideways, this is not going to work. Because, we've seen Bitcoin go sideways. We've seen Bitcoin be volatile. So what the hell? This is very important. This is the news I really wanted you guys to pay attention to. If there's going to be a problem with a company, do you think they're going to call you and say, hey, maybe you should take your money out? No. Why not? because you're nobody. You have a very little amount of money. Right? Yeah, that's right. They're gonna call their friends, their rich friends, and say, "Hey, you might want to take that out." And with such a large movement, you might want to follow along. If you have any money in Coinbase, or Coinbase Pro, because this is an indication that something might not be right. If Bitcoin goes down, which I think it will go, this will create massive problems, just like we saw with Terra Luna, just like we saw with a whole bunch of other cryptocurrency exchanges and places where you are allowed to invest. You want to take wherever you're investing your Bitcoin, if you are investing your Bitcoin, you should take it out. I've met some fans, and they told me that they didn't bother to get into any of those. Hey, you know what? I'm going to save my Bitcoin here and earn an interest on my Bitcoin, because it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous notion. And I was right. BlockFi. I told you. Over and over again, as I was advertising, hey, you might want to watch my video on the disclaimer about the BlockFi. Yes, it'll be fine for whilst things are good. But not so fine if things are not good. So, yeah, we're going to see that happening if Bitcoin drops heavily. So, please get your Bitcoin. Hold your Bitcoin. Do not use any kind of exchange to store your Bitcoins or store your cryptocurrencies. You're going to get hurt. All right, final news, right? Ethereum hodlers are on the rise. Yes, because, well, you know what? Ethereum is proof of stake, right? Of course, this is where this makes sense for you to hold Ethereum, especially since it is actually a supply has gone negative heavily, right? The outputting supply is less than what's being destroyed. So we're seeing less and less Ethereum. So that means it's very deflationary. So hodling Bitcoin for that effect, because the effect of that is coming. Not going to be right now, not going to be tomorrow, not going to be next week, but it is coming next year, because that is the average time frame for any kind of whether we're government printing. If the government prints, it takes a while for that money to come up, show up, right? They printed in 2020, and now we're seeing it all, and it takes a while. If the money supply were to go down, an example like Bitcoin, if the Bitcoin supply goes down, well, you see its effect, right? In 12 to 18 months in price. And that's what's going to happen with Ethereum. So make sure you have your Ethereum, make sure you hold on to your Ethereum. If you want to stake it, that's fine, because it's a smart contract. It's not going to hurt you. You're not going to lose your stake, right? Rewards. Of course, you will be staking it probably with a group, so you have to you are subjected to that group behaving well. But most likely, it's more higher probability that they will do so on the network. They'll just run the same standardized program and earn an interest on your Ethereum legally. Okay. With that said, thank you all for watching. Man, you know what? I imparted you some very deep information. I hope you take it to heart, because it's very important. I would always say this with gold and silver, that you should hold your gold and silver. You should not be holding an ETF. You should not be holding, stocks. You should not be holding, having somebody else hold your gold and silver anywhere. You should have it held yourself. And if you have to hold it for example, Brinks, right? Because Brinks allows you to store whatever you want. make sure you do it in multiple countries. All right. And with Bitcoin, you don't have to do that. You just have to hold it yourself. Because it works in every single country. And there doesn't have to be, you don't have to worry about any kind of rules preventing you from taking your Bitcoin outside the country, because Bitcoin is the new standard of money. Make sure you hold on to it when it becomes a new standard. The only person who will be surprised is the people who are not watching my show. But you won't be. All right. Cheers, people. Thanks for watching.